following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Phoenix. Brother Mike is back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Thank you to all of our KXXT Christian radio listeners for coming to you for the last 17 years on the broadcast. Thank you for your support. Dark Sky Radio, welcome again to the program. May God richly bless you as well. Today's Bible study, the mark of the monster. Folks, it's coming. It's right around the corner. Excuse me. It's going to hit us soon. Would you call somebody and tell them the radio program's on the end of the world today on Hardcore? This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center in downtown Phoenix on 50th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. HardcoreChristianity.com is the website. Thursday night is our healing room. 7 p.m. service with Brother Rick. Friday night is my teaching service, my radio listeners, 7 p.m. On the website, you can go to our YouTube streaming channel. You can sign up for our next free seminar. The next one is the Mysteries of Divine Healing, for example. The radio archives are on the website. The PayPal button's there to send us another donation. Thank you for your support for the last 15 years. Sister Karen's on the homepage. She'd be happy to list your house for sale. And she loves working with born-again Christians. On the homepage of the website also is our training program, Healing and Deliverance Training. If you've ever thought about going into the ministry in the area of healing and deliverance, 18 training sessions now available on the homepage of the website. May God richly bless you. The mark of the monster. Check it out, folks. The Bible is unfolding right in front of our eyes. It's happening so fast now. So fast. John warned us about the Antichrist spirit. It's all over the planet now. The Antichrist spirit. This thing is a monster. China, Asia, all of Asia, really, almost. Russia, Europe. Oh my gosh, continents turning against Christ everywhere. Here in America, Jesus is turning into Ebola. They want Jesus out of everything, out of the schools, out of the government, out of the Christmas display, everything gone. They want it all thrown out. The devil's making his move, folks, but listen to this. This thing's closer than we think. We're currently in the pre-tribulation. The tribulation is just around the corner. Here's the article, New York Post. Here it is. A growing movement of Swedes are implanting microchips into their hands to replace credit cards and cash. Quote, tech will move into the body, unquote. The microchip pioneer, Johan Osterlund, told the New York Post. I'm sure of that, he said. More than 4,000 citizens have opted to insert the chip. It's about the size of a grain of rice. The chip can help monitor health and replace key cards for access to offices and buildings and automobiles. You believe that? The article says, quote, the progressive country, and that's what they call themselves, Swedes, a progressive country. They're progressing right into the gates of hell. The progressive country hopes the chips catch on and thereby eliminate the need for cash. Microchip owners can simply swipe their hands in a store to pay for the groceries. Osterlund, who owns Biohacks International, has claimed that the technology is completely safe for users, but many people are concerned about privacy. And boy, do they have a right to be. That's how the Antichrist is going to move in on us. Quote, the problem is, who knows who has this data, said Ben Liberton, a Swedish scientist. Quote, do I get a letter from my insurance company saying premiums are going up before I know I'm ill? Will they have access to my medical records? If I use the chip to buy lunch or go to the gym or go to work, will someone have all of this information about me? Is my information stored? Is it safe? Unquote. Yeah, no. Those are good questions, Mr. Scientist. Quote, people have shown they're happy to give up privacy for convenience, he continued. The chip is very convenient, so we could accept our data being shared very widely before we know what the risks are. Are we willing to do this? Good question, Mr. Scientist. There's a big debate among end-time theologians, by the way. Some people believe that the Antichrist is a person. Some believe it's a system or a social order. Some believe that the mark of the beast is a physical sign, a physical event in the body. Some believe it's a social. Some believe it's some kind of a different type of analysis. But here's what some pastors are saying. Let me give you an example here. Christian headline, Pastor Dave Doyle from Hope Christian Fellowship Church in Iowa says that it's going to be a literal chip implanted into the person, a literal microchipping. He said, quote, I take microchipping as a form of the mark. There are many pieces of the mark, and then again, all these pieces of the mark are designed to do is control the person. It will eventually become something that's mandatory. For those who refuse it, you'll have to deal with the authorities who will not appreciate your opinions. Sam Storms, however, pastor at Bridgeway Church in Oklahoma and council member of the Gospel Coalition, disagrees. He says, quote, I don't believe the so-called mark of the beast is a literal physical mark on the bodies of believers. Now, this Sam Storms guy has a storm of ignorance in his head, and here's why. If you look at Revelation chapter 14, as you know, during the tribulation, 144,000 unsaved Jews become born-again Christians. It's the 144,000. And it says here in Revelation chapter 14, verse 1, quote, John said, quote, I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion. With him was 144,000, having their father's name written in their foreheads. Okay, now this is the Greek word grapho, which means to write something. You would print something. Grapho would be the Greek word you would use if you were to write a letter or write out a grocery list. Okay? These 144,000 have Yahweh's name written on their foreheads. Now, is it visible in the natural world, or is it only visible in the spiritual world? That I don't know. My guess is it's the natural world, because the Greek word grapho is used to describe what I just said, actual writing. So it looks like the 144,000 that get saved during the tribulation have grapho, Yahweh or Jehovah's name written on their foreheads. But if you take a look a little closer, you'll see in Revelation chapter 7, the angel says, quote, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. Now that's the Greek word spragizo, for sealed. That means to stamp something on their foreheads. So the grapho is apparently a written stamp on the forehead of those who are sealed, and then it says it's 144,000 of the tribes of the children of Israel. That's in Revelation chapter 7. So it looks like a spragizo is a stamp. For example, you would stamp a letter with a rubber stamp. You would put your address on it. Bang. I do that when you send in a donation check. On the back of the check, I endorse it. I have a hardcore Christianity stamp. I just go, spragizo, bang. There it is. However, here's why Sam Storms is wrong. Revelation chapter 13 talks about something else. The false prophet, who, in my opinion, is the key to the book of Revelation, and not the Antichrist. It's the false prophet who is the key. He sets up the Antichrist on his throne. He causes people to worship him, and he causes people to receive the mark of the beast. Revelation 13, quote, he causes all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, so that no man may buy or sell save he has this mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay? So the Greek word for this word mark in English is charagma. Charagma is different from grapho, and it's different from spragizo. Charagma is an etching or a cutting into the skin. That's why what they're doing in Sweden is so incredibly important. It's not grapho, it's charagma. It's being etched into your skin, cut into it as a permanent feature of your body. The Antichrist, through the false prophet, is going to require this system to be set up all around the world. And cash, as we know it, is going to eventually dissipate. It's already well on its way, as you well know. In the United States, Americans own credit cards. They're addicted to them. And the Americans in America owe more money than the federal government does China and India. The debt for credit cards in the United States is greater than the debt, the national debt. All of those transactions on a credit card are cashless transactions. The system in Sweden being set up is exactly that. It's a system where you're not using cash. Friends, why am I sharing this with you? I'm trying to warn my brothers and sisters, my friends, that the tribulation, we're in the pre-tribulation. The tribulation is just around the corner. The great apostasy has already started. It's ramping up, and the end is right around the corner, and you need to change your life and change it fast. You can do it. The training program is on the homepage of the website. Entering the field of deliverance and healing, that's something God is calling you to do.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.